Hello folks, sorry it's quite early in the morning and everyone's asleep apart from me, but I got this parcel yesterday. It's a MIG Jimenez, it's basically ammo by MIG stuff, it's all weathering stuff that I bought or ordered. Thanks Pixie, my cat's just jumped in, hang on a second. Pix, get out of the way mate. Last week, Thursday last week, it arrived yesterday, which was Monday. So it came by DHL all the way from Spain, so it sat for a day, and I'm opening it today. Like I say, it's all weathering stuff from the models and my Gasland stuff. A little bit different to bits and bobs and parts, but I'm keeping the spirit of my unboxings. I thought I'd unbox it and talk about the stuff, because it is interesting stuff. It's interesting to me at least anyway. Box wrap, which is clever, but it is what it is. Super well packaged, to be honest. Oh gosh, rubbish at boxes today. 2 seconds folks. Got to stab myself in the leg on this box. There we go. Bosh. So what I did is I picked up a few bits on our website. Super easy to navigate. Let's get everything out and then we can talk about it. Didn't order that. That was nice of them. That's the invoice, don't need to see my address. Okay, so that's the main thing that's in there. So, I picked up a fresh, clean painting palette. This book, so the book and the rust pigment set were a deal, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's the rust pigment set, which is cool. I got some brushes, and I got the rusty vehicles and animal weathering set, so this is more liquid weathering, light rust track wash and rust effects. Yeah, so postage was about 14 quid, and it came within a couple of days, which I think is pretty good. I got these gift of an oil brush, which is nice. So these are oil paint and brush, like a weathering set in there as well. So I've got lots of different weathering pigments and powders and liquids, etc. But I thought I'd give this stuff a go, because I followed them for a long while on Instagram and YouTube and stuff. So the modelling school books are super good, because it's all the techniques. Now, they're obviously, because it's produced by them, it's aimed at their products, but don't necessarily have to use their products with it. So that's a good little book. Palettes, obviously I need to clean palette. Picked up a couple of their brushes, because I needed some new brushes and I was making an order anyway, so that's cool. But the main event is obviously these 2 bits. Let me just close this knife. So I've got the pigment rust set and the enamel weathering set. So got medium rust, light rust and track rust in the weathering pigment powders. Nice little blisters those. You can pick this stuff up off of Amazon as well, but then I've got streaking rust effects, track wash, and then light rust wash. The streaking track effects one is a cool one. I like these bottles, it's nice. So I want to do more streaking, etc. So yeah, these pigments, like the powdered pigments, that's a proper dark rust, that, like the track rust. Let me zoom in again and bring it down because I took it too far out. That's the light rust. And this is the medium rust. Nice. I do like a weathering powder. I used lots of different products though, obviously. And then we've got the washers as well. Cool thing is the what's in it's written on the top as well, and I store these up right in the drawer, so that's handy from that point of view. So showing you a book. Brushes, so use brushes. Just a starter brush set, like a few quid. Thought I'd grab it just to see what it's like. Oh, that's cool. They're also in individual packages inside. The starter brush. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Got number 4, 2, number 6. And this is a number 0.5. So I'll grab a few brushes. Like I say, the book is the main buy out of this lot. The book and the modelling guide. So the modelling guide and the rusty vehicle set had 15% off as well, so it worked out about 21 quid, 22 quid. Pilot's a couple of quid. Starter brush set was about 7 quid, and then the rust set pigment was about 9 quid. So not too bad, to be honest. The book was the main buy for me though. The modelling school stuff. I like a good book. I like a good visual reference. Like, I get it. The internet can give you anything you want. You search the right things, but books and stuff like that, where it's at. I mean, that goes hand in hand with a book I picked up from AK this week as well. Zoom this back out a sec. Extreme Reality 3. They're just good reference things. I like lots of reference. I like books, the whole massive collection of books. That's one of my other passions. So I like it. And this oil brush, and these aren't cheap. It's quite clever because it's basically weathering and a brush. Look at that. All in one. I do like a little freebie now and again. It's always cool. Yeah, so it's only a real quick video. What I'll do is this part will be today, and then I'll build a car, and then I use some of these products on it, and I'll time excuse me, I'll time lapse that, and then we do a bit of a roundup at the end once I've done it. But yeah, super pleased with this. I've got plenty of weathering stuff as it is. I've been using the Army Painter dry rust and Vallejo weathering powders and stuff like that, and base crafts weathering powders. Just type the stock up a few more bits. I've also made my own weathering powder. It's like anything, you can use products that are made specifically for it, or you can make your own products. Like cheap oil paints at no money whatsoever. You can buy cheap a set of 6 basic oil paint colours from the pound shop for like 2 quid. Or I've got some Winsor & Newton ones that came as part of a set that my partner doesn't use anymore. She doesn't do any oil painting anymore. That cost me nothing. I think she got it for a Christmas gift. So it's all swings and roundabouts. Or you can go out and buy a load of oil paints. It's all swings and roundabouts. And cost is what it is. I mean, just got a 3D printer. That's quite a big cost. But then the saving it makes in printing stuff is great. And that's the same in this. So this sort of stuff here, the pre-made stuff is obviously a time thing over a money thing. But I heard good things about it. Never owned any MIG stuff before, so I thought it was time I picked up a few bits, give them a try. Alright then, time lapse build next, and then I'll have a build already, time lapse and some painting next and some weathering, and then we'll talk about the products afterwards. Cool. Alright folks, so we've got, this is not going to need a lot of modification to build today. Travelling Warrior burritos. I'm liking that. I like the colour. I like everything about it. Apart from it's not dirty enough. Get out. Don't need that bit. We'll come back to that bit in a minute. So I've got this roof bit with the glass in. Boop. and the windows. So mods I'm going to do to this, I'm going to mesh the window. And here's one of my new turrets that I designed. One of the new gun turrets on the roof. Probably use, because you know, even though it's a food truck, you've got to protect the FUD. What one shall I use? These are all not samples, but these are all pre-production ones over here. Beavering them out. I think I used this little gun turret here I've made. So the idea is, back in there. Going to mount it on the roof here. Drill a little hole so it rotates. So it can pew all the way around, which we like. Probably mount it quite far forward, so it's right in the front. So I'm going to cut the windscreen off, or out, should I say, because I don't need that bit. Goodbye. Check this. Cool. Plan is I'm going to glue this in a bit. Then I'm going to clear lacquer the whole thing anyway. And so I can do some weathering on this part. What I do is I mask off the roof, paint the roof black or something, I think. Just to give it some contrast. Probably mask around that line there, all the way around. Black primer it. Some mesh on the windows. Prime them with without spray. I prime them with some black primer I've already got. Gun on the top. And stance wise, meh. It's a burrito truck. Stance is a bit meh. Bag of wheels, box of wheels. Let's get something a bit bigger in the back. Just a tub of wheels. Oh no, I've lost one. It's like the narrowest axle known to man. Always the way. Something look like a cool narrow axle. If you've got headphones on, I still apologise about the rattling. But, you know, just what it is. So they'd be cool, they're a bit wide. I think they would clash the body. 1 second. Oh, bugger. Yeah, I glue those in. That'll raise the stance up. Ooh. Yeah, that'll look cool. That'll give it a bit of a more angled stance. In fact, I might be able to get a pair on the front as well. Even better. So I'll do that. I'll be back in a second once they're on. Okay, we're back. I did all that off camera because, you know, watching me stick mesh on and stick a gun on the roof and super good roofing is just a bit boring. So there we go. So stance wise, you can't see. Yeah, so you missed all that because my phone decided to stop recording then. Awesome. So I've masked this off with 6 more Tamiya masking tape, which is really, really good, worth the money. Thicker masking tape from Wilco's to go over it. I spray the roof black primer, army painter. Spray the interior the same, because I don't like them white, and the grill and the tailgate are white, and I don't want them black. I want them black just to be a bit different. Yeah, and then put it together, and I use some weathering products on it, just to weather it up. Nice quick build. There will be other builds, or there will be other videos this week. No videos last week, because I was busy on my 3D printing stuff, which is taking up all my time at the moment. Purely I'm designing these. I'm on like version of prototype, and then 30 or something. They're all prototypes. There's prototypes up there. There's that top plastic box above the resin box is waste, as in like fouled cast, like fouled prints. And I've got these vehicles here that I put some turrets on. So I'm really looking forward to those, but I need to get some videos out because I've been remiss on the video front. So we'll be doing that. I'll spray this and I'll be back. Right then, the roof's all black. It's all reassembled, I've glued it together. I've also gone over the black as it was drying with my finger and some sandpaper, just to give it a load of texture. Weather it about a bit, same with the tailgate, I've hit it with some sandpaper. Grill's the grill, front bumper I'm keeping the same. I might hand paint it black when I paint the windows. But yeah, so next to do is to clear lacquer it, but as you can probably hear it's absolutely lamping it down outside. Raining cats and dogs and all that jazz. So I can't do any clear lacquer at the moment. So this video might not be out on a Wednesday, it might be a Thursday video as the weather improves tomorrow. But we'll see what you see. Been a bit of a reaction on the plastic as well, like the glass in there, which is cool, just adds to the effect, I think. Yeah, the aim is obviously to matte clear this, which is the whole thing, it makes no difference really. Matte clear it and then use some weathering products to hagger it up, weather it up. So you paint the guns, paint the mesh, rust them up. Same with the tailgate. Adding that little extra bit of texture makes it better. Obviously I want this middle panel to look more like a roof, as if there's no window in there. Hence it's black, and then it's matched in with everything else. So I've been very careful not to hit it too much with the sandpaper. But I'll add rust to that area as well. So far so good. So this car only came in this morning, so it's a good little vehicle for mucking about with. You can go at the details. Be careful obviously if you're doing this on some stuff, because these are printed on. They're not actual, these little bins on the sides are not actual details on the vehicle. It's actually printed on, so I'll scratch all that off. It's just like a sanding, finger sander thing. Just to hagger it up a bit, I might hit it with a sanding block as well, just to even that out. And that sounds silly, but in the direct motions it takes away some of the horizontal scratches and vertical scratches. And it's a cheap and quick way to whether a printed on decal or temper. This is like a really fine grit as well. It takes a little while to get anywhere with it, which is handy. So what I say about this, you can just add a bit of texture wherever you want. I'll rough up the front as well on the green, just means it's like a key to it as well. There we go for now. That's all we can do. So I'll come back again once it stopped raining and I've managed to clear coat this, which probably means it'll be night time. But hey, that's how things go. Alright then folks, so clear's dry. It's still daytime, which is handy. I've got my lights on because it's dull as dishwater out there. 2 seconds. So the reason I chose this, obviously I just did a little bit of black on the roof. I didn't like that roof bit, it was ugly. The reason I chose this casting is I wanted to use these products as they are without any paint on the vehicle affecting the way they come out. So they're all new to me, obviously, as I said at the start of this video. I filmed the 2 halves of this video about 3 weeks apart, so I forget what I said in the previous video, but these are from these 2 sets. Yeah, I have a pigment set and a rusty vehicle set. I haven't read the books that I've got as well, so I'm just going to go through this the way I'd normally do stuff as well. I've also got some pigment binder, which is not an ammo one, it's a Vallejo one, but makes a difference. And I've got 2 crappy brushes, one to do my mixing with and one to do my application. Also got my sponges, because you know me, I love a bit of sponge, and I'll dig out a super fine brush for the streaking effects. I'm going to leave the streaking effects for a minute. Now, the way I've used pigment powder in the past is to put a wash on and then add pigment powder without a binder straight on top, and then go around with a binder afterwards, so that then it runs and moves about and stuff like that. But I'm going to use the pigment binder today. But first of all, I'm going to do a light rust wash over pretty much everything. Oh, that screw flew out of my light. That's annoying. It doesn't matter. Sure, it's nothing important. Does shake well. It's not too toxic smelling either. So let's have a quick look at this. It's the first time I've used this as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. I haven't painted the mesh, and I was going to paint the mesh, but I've decided not to. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so it goes on. Bear in mind, this is me. I've opened these bottles. I've not read about them. I bought them because I've heard great things about the ammo stuff. So that goes on quite nice. Let me just try something with my sponge. So all that's really doing is dulling this colour down, which is quite nice. It's not overpowering in the colour. You can see there's a huge difference in the shade it's made the vehicle itself. Let me just try something. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do a light rust wash over the whole vehicle, I think. I'll use my sponge as well. The whole point of this is it is just a wash. If you get some of the dirt around the edge of the bottle though, where it's got the sediment in it, you can almost bring it. See, I've got like a little ring of sediment around the top here where I've shook it. I'll just show you what I mean. This is how I normally get my rust stuff. There we go, old friend. That's how I normally get my rust effects. But like I say, I wanted to try something new. This stuff comes well recommended. Like I said in the previous video, I don't know I said this because I would have said this, is it's not sponsored by ammo. Obviously I'd be doing a better job otherwise. My product, my money, my impressions, and I like to try different things. So yeah, the thicker product there is what I'm going to do with the weathering powder itself anyway. Just wanted to see if that would do the same, which is cool. So let me just do a quick rust wash across the whole thing. I'm on this bit of kitchen towel because I've got a new mat. People that whinge about my crappy old mat. Got a new painting mat now. See, the thing I don't want is it to be all orange everywhere, because that'll just look really samey. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do what I've just been doing, which is paint it on pretty slapdash, pretty haphazard. I know there's earth weathering stuff I could use instead of this. This is me using it without reading the instructions. I spent my pennies, so I get to do what I want. This is certainly not an endorsed White Arrow. I've not watched any of their videos on it or anything like that. I'm just doing what I fancy. It comes out cool on the white though. You know, for me, you watch my videos enough, you know that I like to knock about with stuff. And sometimes do what you're not meant to do with it. Okay, let's put it back in. It's going to take a few minutes to dry. So we've got this. I've not actually looked at these yet. Okay, it's very comparable to the one I made. The rust. I made some using grinding down like pastels, the chalkier ones. Oh, that's nice. Track rust. That'd be like a darker, more oily rust. And I don't know why I shook that because I'm an idiot, obviously. Medium rust. Oh, nice. See that? That's a cool colour. So I've always gone darkest to lightest with rust. So darkest in again, even with the sponging. It's obviously where I've been sponging. So I'm gonna do what I normally do with this. 2 seconds. Sorry about the constant wearing, it's my 3D printer. Cheapest 99 now. Oh, for that. Yeah. That's probably too much anyway. Just put some in there. Got a little pipette on the go. Right, go with medium rust. Get that brush out of the way for a second. Just gonna mix some of this top one. Needs a little bit more powder in it. It's obviously the oldest, darkest rust. That's quite nice. Put that over there to dry. I do what I always do when I do rust. Sponge. That's just the way I like to do it. There's no right or wrong. Talk about this all the time with different things. You do whatever you want, whatever way you want to do it. And if someone don't like it, they can do it their way, can't they? That's the whole point of hobbies and things like this. There's no right or wrong. I'm probably using these products all completely wrong, and I'm not really that bothered. Like I say, if I was endorsed by Ammo, then I would. Like, I'm going to pick up some different brands, stuff at some different points anyway, so keep on saying that I'll pick up some other products from different people, so I will, when time and money allows. So, we all know this stuff, some of these stuffs take absolute age to dry. The matte clear beforehand is to help me, and means that it shouldn't skate over the plastic. It should bond to it a bit better. I think that's the, if I remember correctly from what I've read, that's the reason. But I do it on all of my models normally, and then I clear over the top of this at some point. So you can see I've done what I normally do, and I've gone for the areas where there's a higher chance of there being rust. So edges, got far too much here, but that's cool, because what we're going to do, I'm going to do a trick. So I've got the light rust wash there, I've got the light rust pigment here. Let's do some of that other stuff in there. Bear in mind that's still all wet as well. Ah, too dry. Ah, too dry. Doesn't matter. So lighten it up a shade. Different bit of sponge, a bit more haggardy in places. This is the problem I have, because I don't take my time between stuff sometimes. That's the wrong end, silly. My battery's going on my phone now. Is it still recording? Yes, it is. Paint on my backside. So I'm just adding. Doesn't matter, I've got the wheels. It already looks like mud. Hey, that is sometimes how it goes. Right, so I'm gonna leave that to dry now. Just added the two first shades before I go to the really orange. Leave that to dry. Come back with my phone's charge when that's all really dry. I'm gonna have a little look at it. We'll see what it looks like once I've done it my way. Boom. There we go. So it looks scrappy as anything at the moment, but we'll sort that out as we go. So that's the. You can see there's a good bit of difference in tone in there as well, which is what I wanted. Right, next. Small amount more pigment binder. Far too much, James, far too much. Okay, a bit more than some bubbles. Pop them bubbles. Fine, we'll keep the bubbles. Who knew? Get rid of that. Whoop, whoop. And we got the light rust this time. The orangey orange. It's far too much. Yeah, it is what it is. It'll be fine. So where's our little swatches? To be honest, it's not very far off from the one I mixed before. But it'll be fine. What I'm going to do when I've got some on the brush, wipe some off. Just go over these window blinds. Window blinds? Window grids. Window blinds. I'm sorry. Cool. You know me, I like it rough and ready. Is the light alright? I mean, it's daylight, it's sunny compared to how it was the last couple of days. It's a little bit wetter, which is no bad thing. It just means that some of the texture, there's no real texture there when it's a little bit wetter. I'm not going to change it now though, because we can work with anything. As with all my other rusty stuff, what I'm going to do after I've done this, and to make it look more faded and haggard, so I'm going to go along with as near to this colour as I can find, and obviously a matte black and a sponge, and very, 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 almost like I was dry brushing, lightly sponge over the top. And I can even out any mistakes I've seen in the rust. And I can also add yet another shade to the paint. So there's no right way or wrong way to do this sort of stuff. So however you fancy doing it. I mean, as long as you don't put your fucking fingers on top of what you've just done. I do all the time because I'm some sort of knob. Excuse my language, everyone. I do love a good swear. My daughter's asleep, so she can't hear it, which is good. So yeah, I've gone around again. Same places I did before. I'll do a couple of different places as well. The thing about this light rust is, and I might have to buy a different one, is it is by no means as orange as, say, the Army Painter orange, the dry pigment stuff, or I've got the Vallejo stuff here. Where is it? That's oxide, old rust. That's a proper orangey rust. Even the base crafts rust is a lot oranger. So what I may have to do is combine a couple of products together. It looked more orange there. As soon as you get the water on it, the pigment binder, it seems to bust it up a bit. Right, so I've left this for a couple of seconds. That's the sponge I just used. This is a sturdier sponge, as it's got. Just try and get a bit of texture in it. Would be nice if I could. I like a good bit of texture on stuff. I didn't do the. I'll use this scattergiddy one there. I'll do that back there. Right. Fudge it. Doesn't matter. We'll leave that to dry, and then we'll look at it again in a second. Right then folks, there we go, all done. Sorry about the noise of my 3D printer in the background still, it's been going non-stop. But the streaming next door has stopped now, which is why I'm filming this now. Yeah, just added a matte clear on there. Use my Posca paint pens, Posca, yeah, paint pens, they're paint markers there. Do the graffiti and cross out the bits on the sign to make it Warritos. Or War-ritos. Yeah, came out really, really nice. That's really the only thing I used, that and the pigment binder that isn't made by MIG for the weathering. Obviously I sponged on some Army Painter paint of a very similar hue like I normally do to make it look more worn, give it a bit more texture. Did the same with a bit of black and a little bit of silver as well. But yeah, other than that, I used that new ammo by MIG stuff, which is obviously cool stuff. So I ended up only using a few things. So I used the medium rust, I used the light rust, streaking effects, which is what you saw me do towards the end, and then the light rust wash. Again, more to highlight the rust rather than as an overall wash, as I started doing, because I forgot as I started laying it on one side. Excuse me. Oh yeah, it doesn't work as well. It's more for just highlighting that rusty area. Now the streaking rust effects, I used some. You saw me put it on, then I came back afterwards and feathered it with a brush. So I used some no, I can't remember what it's called. I want to say it's like a non-smelling white spirit, something like that. I can't think what it is. I bought it specifically for doing that. That's what's feathered out. I like the rust streaking effects. I'm certainly going to add that to my arsenal. As for the other products, yeah, they're perfectly good. I bought these stuff not necessarily to replace stuff I've already got, because I have a lot of weathering stuff, but I wanted to try different things from different manufacturers, and I had no problems with any of these things. The little food vans come out really nice. Give me a chance to use one of my new weapons, you know, things like that. And a rusty paint job's a rusty paint job. At the end of the day, I love a rusty paint job. So yeah, that's done. That's another one, another build done. This time I didn't do anything on the wheels. I kept them the colours they were. Obviously, I dirtied up the white ones a little bit at the front. Changed the back one like we started at the start. But yeah, other than that, nice simple build. Just trying to show. Excuse me again. I am so sorry. Just trying to show off the paint job really. And the rust effects. Super happy with it. It's not necessarily the way everyone would apply that paint or that pigment, but sponge application for rust is the way I do it. It's the way I always do it. I've got them up the manual. Got the rust effects book that I got at the same time with the pigments and stuff. So I'll give that a read through because there's some cool stuff in there. Might change me up a little bit. I was gonna go around the edge of all the big rust patches and highlight them, but I thought no, I used the sponge. So came good. Super happy with it. Really pleased with it as always. Yeah, the ammo stuff, super nice as well. Obviously, as I would say so. See everyone in the next video.